guys, welcome to another edition of Xco World. In today's edition, we'll be discussing the Carabao Cup quarterfinal match review between Chelsea versus Newcastle United that ended 4-2 in favor of Chelsea after a 1-1 draw during the course of the game. Now, kudos to Chelsea for advancing to the semi-final. Before we talk about the talking points of this game, I want you to like the video, share. If this is your first time of coming across this video, click the subscription button. And I want you to also drop your comments at the end of the video. It is important that you like the video. That's the only way you can be able to encourage me so that YouTube can recommend this video to other YouTubers so that they can be able to see. I will appreciate if you can give it up to 10 likes. That will be very, very good. In fact, you made my day. And also compliment of the season to everyone. Now, let's talk about the match talking points. One thing that surprised me with respect to the setup Newcastle United did, maybe Eddie Howe has been able to get some experience from the Champions League. That's the reason he decided to be more pragmatic in his approach against Chelsea. Because I was surprised of Newcastle United coming to Stamford Bridge to play a defensive football game, because it is not quite long Newcastle and Chelsea they played. I believe it was in St. James Park that Newcastle walloped Chelsea 4-1. So I was thinking that alone should be able to give Newcastle some level of confidence coming into this game. But I was surprised, maybe because they had a lot of injuries, but I don't think injury is the cause, because before they play Chelsea, they also have a lot of injuries as well. Now, the goal Callum Wilson scored in the 16th minute, it was so shocking. And that just give you a summary why Chelsea are in the level they are now, because that mistake from Badiashile, that's actually a criminal offense. A player of a professional of that standard, you don't make that kind of mistake. Those are the kind of mistake that people like me who do not play ball, that whenever we had the opportunity to, those are the kind of mistake that we are supposed to be doing, not a professional player of that standard. And funny enough is that mistake was the only shot on target that Newcastle had in the entire 90 minutes. And another caution, I think that this game should be able to give Pochettino some level of consideration, because him playing a back four of complete CBs is actually not really good to me. And I think that he saw it, because as soon as the second half started, it removed Cowell and brought in named Gusto to play as a left back. And I was wondering why changing players their positioning, because one thing what this thing does to the player is that it makes them to have less impact in the game. And you could see that by the time he rectified that in the 78th minute, whereby he brought in Madsen and play Madsen as the left back and play Gusto as the right back, you could see that now those ones, they're now putting more pressure on Newcastle. That's the reason I was not surprised when most of Chelsea attacking phase was coming from the right flank. You could see a lot of crosses that Malo Gusto and a lot of cutting that Malo Gusto is trying to do. At least Chelsea fans, they had a little preamble taste of what they can see from good Nkunku. Yet he's just coming from a long-term injury, so we don't need to put more pressure on him. And Chelsea, they had their own piece of the pie with respect to what's the name of this left back player of Newcastle United. Their name is just actually going off my head now because I don't understand what he was trying to do in that particular instance, whereby Malagusto crossed the ball. Because one thing I expect Pochettino to also do is that let your wingers understand that whenever the flank, the right back, the right back or the left back, they are crossing the ball. Now, the opposition flank, the winger is supposed to attack the space. Now, this is the kind of thing that Sterling knows how to do to the T, that gave Sterling a lot of goals when he was in Manchester City. So when he crossed the ball, I was surprised from the kind of heading, excuse me, that the Newcastle defender did. I don't understand whether I was trying to give the ball back to the goalkeeper, and Mudryk, as a result of the pace he had, and also he was very, very alert. He was quick to respond. And some persons may tend to think that that kind of finishing is easy, but it's not easy, because sometimes when the adrenaline is very high, there's high tendency that some players may end up shooting the ball over the bar. But the ability for him to compose himself and pick his spot, hit the ball there, became 1-1 in the 92nd minute, because at this point in time, I was already writing the game off that Chelsea, they've lost this game. But kudos to them for keeping up that resilience, looking for a way to break through the defensive shape of Newcastle United. And in Carabao Cup, there's no added time, there's no second leg. So after the game, it was just straight to penalty. Now, in the course of the penalty, Chelsea's second choice, Petrovic, deputized for Sanchez that is actually injured. And one thing that I applaud so much is Palmer. Palmer is becoming a big player for Chelsea, because most of the times he will also assist and he will score, because the first person to take the first penalty, a lot of pressure is really on that person's, because if he got it wrong, there's high tendency that the entire team may be affected psychologically. So that's why when it's time for penalty kick, though it's actually a 50-50 thing for anybody, but most teams, they want their best player to actually take it. And a player of 21 years having that kind of confidence, calm composure, scored the first one, which is scored for them as well. Then Petrovic, indeed, when I read of his stats, is that he's good in set pieces. He saved a lot of set pieces while he was in the US. But the American sport and that of British football, they are two different things entirely. But this guy actually carried that particular form into the British game. So kudos to him, because he helped save Chelsea and helped Chelsea too, because he saved another penalty from Richie as well to make Chelsea advance to the semi-final. Now, Fulham has advanced, Middlesbrough have advanced, Chelsea have advanced. Then today, we'll be waiting to see the game between Liverpool versus West Ham. Now, this is actually one avenue that can give Chelsea a hope for the season, because as regarding to the Premier League, Chelsea's season for the Premier League, it is done and dusted. So if they can be able to put up a good shift in the course of this Carabao Cup and pick this title, it is going to give it is going to salvage the whole shambles that the entire team have seen. Because one thing that a trophy does to team is to build confidence and also create that heritage that Chelsea is a team that love winning title season in, season out. Now, I don't want the video to actually be a very lengthy one, so I want you to drop your comments with respect to who do you think will be able to pair in the semi-final. Chelsea fans, they can be able to breathe. I don't want to be too gassed. All I'm going to say is that Chelsea fans, let's just take them one game at a time and see if actually this can be able to build momentum. But before now, we've always been saying they are going to build momentum, and at the end of the day to go back to square one. Then let's wait and see how it goes. Come on, let's go.